Happy Equinox, everybody. Let's call the meeting to order and pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Supervisor Post.
Here.
Deputy Supervisor Underhill.
Here.
Councilwoman White.
Here.
Councilwoman Michaelak. Here. Councilman Zambito.
Here.
Would someone move to approve the minutes of the February 20th, 2024 regular town board meeting and the February 28th, 2024 special town board meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Underhill.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Michaelak.
Yes.
Zambito.
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution number 77.
That's me. Highway Garage Mold and Insulation Project, Thompson Builds, Inc., change order number 2. Whereas the town of Batavia awarded Tompkins Builds, Inc., the bid for the highway mold and insulation project in the amount of $225,000 for the base bid, and whereas change order number 1 was previously approved in the amount of $11,450 for cleaning of the vertical surfaces in the highway garage and painting of the drywall on the west end of the heated storage bays. And whereas the assistant town engineer has requested repair roof leaks on the highway garage and over the highway garage offices, as well as inspect for other possible failures on a time and material basis, as well as requested pricing to install a pass-through window with a speak hole at the town clerk's office, with these requests causing an increase in the contract in the amount of $16,716.81. Whereas the assistant town engineer has reviewed the change order pricing provided and recommends approval of the change order request. Now therefore be it resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes the supervisor to execute change order number 2 for fixing roof leaks at the highway garage and highway garage offices, and to install a pass-through window with speak hole at the town clerk's office, causing an increase in the contract in the amount of $16,716.81, bringing the total contract amount to $253,166.81. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
White.
Yes.
Zambito.
Yes.
Underhill.
Yes.
Michaelak.
Yes.
Post.
Yes. And resolution number 78.
Contract for Kings Plaza Pump Station Replacement, STC Construction Incorporated, change number 2. Whereas the town of Batavia awarded CP Construction, Inc., the bid for the Kings Plaza Pump Station Replacement Contract A in the amount of $517,005 for the base bid, and whereas the town of Batavia Engineer Department requested pricing for STC Construction for rehabilitation and upgrades at the Fairway Drive Pump Station, and whereas the bonding for the project included contingencies and other monies that will cover the costs of this change order, and whereas change order number 1 with STC Construction was a $0 change order to acknowledge federal prevailing wage rate updates and did not exceed New York State prevailing wage rates, and whereas STC provided pricing totaling $233,400 along with a request for extension in time from July 28, 2024 to September 30th, 2024 for the work that is described on the change order number 2 backup annex, and hereto whereas the assistant town engineer has reviewed the change order number 2 pricing and recommend approval, now therefore be resolved that the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes the supervisor execute order number 2 in the amount of $233,400, bringing STC Constructions Inc.'s total contract to $750,400.05, extending substantial completion by September 30th, 2024. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Underhill.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Mike Zambito.
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution 79, Town of Batavia, Seek Lead Agency Resolution, New York State Route 98 Rehabilitation and Intersection Improvements. Whereas the Town of Batavia proposes a project to widen New York State Route 98 between the Thruway Bridge and West Saley Drive and make intersection improvements, and wishes to seek lead agency status for the environmental review of this project. And whereas the New York State Route 98 Rehabilitation and Intersection Improvements Project consists of widening the roadway to accommodate a two-way center turning lane throughout with dedicated left turn lanes at Federal Drive and Call Parkway, improvements at Call Parkway to include a new right turn lane and safety and operation improvements at the intersection of New York State Route 98 and Federal Drive. Now, therefore, be it resolved that in accordance with the New York State Environmental Quality Review Seeker regulations, the Town Board of the Town of Batavia hereby announces its intent to serve as lead agency to conduct an environmental review of the New York State Route 98 Rehabilitation and Intersections Improvement Project, and be it further resolved, the Town Board has determined that given funding will be coming from state and federal sources, and the project will require permitting by the New York State DOT and coordination with the New York State DEC, and the proposed action is an unlisted action as defined under seeker, and be it further resolved, the Town Board will notify the involved agencies of its intention to act as lead agency for this project and will provide them with a copy of Part 1 of the full environmental assessment form. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Post.
Yes.
Zambito.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Underhill.
Yes.
Mike
Yes.
Patty?
Town of Batavia obligating American Rescue Plan funds, coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds from the U.S. Department of Treasury. Whereas the United States Congress has adopted the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021 and it has become law, and whereas Section 603 of the ARPA provides for financial assistance for counties, cities, and non-entitlement units of local government for eligible expenses in accordance with the final rule issued by the U.S. Department of Treasury. And whereas the town received $704,510.70 that was distributed in equal tranches, half in 2021 and the remaining half in 2022. And whereas the federal treasury has issued guidance on how the town can utilize the funding, with funds having to be obligated by the end of 2024 and spent by the end of 2026. Now therefore be it resolved, Batavia Town Board hereby obligates American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, funds, coronavirus state and local fiscal recovery funds from the U.S. Department of Treasury in a total amount of $704,510.70 for the purpose of a court facility project, and more specifically to relocate the court facility. And be it further resolved that the funds will be expended by 2026. And be it further resolved that Batavia Town Supervisor is directed to complete all necessary and required reporting and documentation to comply with the American Rescue Plan Act. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mike
Yes.
Zambito.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Underhill.
Yes.
Post.
Yes. 81.
Resolution 81, training workshop. Resolved, Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes the following personnel to attend training workshops. Dan Underhill, Homes and Community Renewal Pro Housing Community Program, March 6, 2024. There is no cost for this training. Bert Schwabel, Gabriel Post, and John Riley. UDIG New York, in-person certified excavator masterclass, Pavilion, New York, April 9th, 2024. The cost of this training for both is $50. Troy Williams and Dan Lang, Energy Code Enforcement, Energy Code Enforcement, Brighton Town Hall, Brighton, New York, March 7th, 2024. There is no cost for this training. Jennifer Zambito and Danielle Merritt, 2024 NYSTCA Clerk Conference, Crown Plaza, Albany, New York, RIT, April 21st through the 24th, 2024. Cost of this training is $1,880. Steve Mountain and Steve Tanner, AWWA Annual Event, Saratoga Springs, April 9th to the 11th, 2024. Total cost for this training is $1,478. Heidi Librock and Marcy Crandall, NYSLRS Employer Education Seminar, Genesee Valley BOCES, Leroy, New York, April 12th, 2024. There is no cost for this training, so moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Zambito,
Yes.
Mike Black.
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution 82. Sharon?
To approve a payroll services agreement with the town of Alexander. Whereas the town of Batavia, hereinafter Batavia, and the town of Alexander, hereinafter Alexander, pursuant to Article 5-G of the General Municipal Law, are authorized to enter into an intermunicipal cooperative agreement for the provision of payroll services. And whereas Batavia currently is employing an individual fully qualified to provide the payroll services as required by law. And whereas Alexander has identified a need to have payroll services to be provided by Batavia. And whereas Batavia intends to continue to maintain an employee to provide payroll duties in both the towns of Batavia and Alexander without reducing the level of service provided to the town of Batavia. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Batavia, New York, that the proposed payroll services agreement between the towns of Batavia and Alexander, a copy of which is annexed hereto and made part of the town board minutes, at a cost of $3,000 per year to be paid by the town of Alexander, is hereby approved retroactive to January 1st, 2024 until December 31st, 2024, and the town supervisor is authorized and directed to sign this agreement on behalf of the town of Batavia, subject to the approval and execution by the town of Alexander. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
White,
Yes.
Underhill.
Yes.
Mike Black.
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution 83.
Town of Batavia United Day of Caring. Resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes a team of 10 employees from the town of Batavia to participate in the United Way Day of Caring, Thursday, May 23rd, 2024. Employee must have department head approval to participate. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Underhill,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Mike Black.
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution 84, temporary part-time laborer highway department. Whereas the highway department is in need of a temporary part-time laborer employee as needed for mowing and trimming of the 19 town properties. And whereas the highway superintendent received and reviewed applications to hire a temporary part-time laborer, now therefore be it resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes the highway superintendent to hire Ricky Reed for the highway department as a temporary part-time laborer at the rate of $27 an hour, not to exceed 20 hours a week, with a start date on or after March 25th, 2024. And be it further resolved, the expense will be expended from line item DA 5110.101. And be it further resolved, the position is provisional, pending civil service approval. And as per the town of Batavia policy, Mr. Reek will be subject to a physical, background and driver's license check and drug and alcohol testing. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Post.
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Mike Black.
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White.
Yes.
Patty, resolution number 85.
Resolution adopting local law number 1 of 2024. Whereas proposed local law number 1 of 2024 of the town of Batavia entitled a local law to change the residency requirements for the appointed office of deputy town clerk, which proposed local law in its final form was presented to the town board at the meeting held on December 20th, 2023, and a copy therefore was kept with the town clerk and copies laid upon the desk of members of the town board members and mailed to each member of the town board members not in attendance at said meeting. And whereas a public hearing on the advisability of enacting said proposed local law was held on January 3rd, 2024, before this town board pursuant to public notice duly published in the Daily News according to law, at which time all interested persons was heard. And whereas the town board of the town of Batavia, New York, is of the opinion that adoption of said proposed local law number 1, 2024 is in the best interest of the town of Batavia, New York. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Batavia, New York, that said proposed local law number 1 be and the same hereby is adopted. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mike Black.
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution 86.
Professional Services Proposal Agreement, Portfolio Analysis, TREP CRE. Whereas the assessor requested a proposal from TREP CRE to work with the assessment staff to gain access to data gathering for commercial properties, and whereas this will assist the assessor to make more informed valuation assessments, now therefore be it resolved, the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to retain TREP CRE portfolio, and it does hereby approve the proposed letter dated February 22nd, 2024, at a cost of $12,204. And be it further resolved, the Batavia Town Supervisor is hereby authorized and directed to execute the said proposed letter on behalf of the town of Batavia. And be it further resolved, the expenditure will be appropriated from line item A 1355-400. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Mike Black,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Karen, Resolution 87.
Heating and air conditioning preventive maintenance inspections contract town hall. Resolved by the town board of the town of Batavia, New York, that a proposed heating and air conditioning preventive maintenance inspections contract dash town hall by and between the town of Batavia and Triton Mechanical Inc., a copy of which is annexed and made part of the town board minutes, is hereby approved, and the town supervisor is authorized and directed to execute this proposal contract on behalf of the town of Batavia. So moved.
Second.
Who was the second?
Me.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Mike Black,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. Resolution 88.
Resolution to establish 2024.
Lost it here.
Yeah, maybe I'll get it right back quick. I must have hit something. Oh, the guy got it.
Okay.
Changes.
That's not it.
No, but I can just go down to it. It was 88, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Resolution to establish 2024 budgetary line item. Resolve the Batavia Town Board hereby establishes the following line item to account for the court facility utilities. A 1620.407, court facility utilities. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Underhill,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Mike Black,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
Post.
Yes.
I think it's too short.
Resolution 89, temporary part-time building maintenance, where the town of Batavia is in need of a temporary part-time building maintenance employee as needed for maintenance of heating and cooling equipment within the town properties. And whereas the town supervisor received and reviewed applications to hire a temporary part-time building maintenance employee, now therefore be it resolved that the Batavia Town Board hereby authorizes the town supervisor to hire Christopher Konechny for the town facilities as a temporary, part-time building maintenance employee at the rate of $50 per hour, not to exceed 20 hours per week, with a start date on or after March 25th, 2024. And be it further resolved, the expense will be expended from line item A 1620.100, and be it further resolved, the position is provisional pending civil service approval. And as per the town of Batavia policy, Mr. Konechny is subject to a physical, background, driver's license, and drug and alcohol testing. So moved.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Post.
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Underhill,
Yes.
Mike Black.
Yes.
Someone move to pay the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
Who was second?
Chad.
Roll call, please.
Underhill,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yes.
White,
Yes.
Mike Black,
Yes.
Post.
Yes. I'll just report briefly on the department head meeting this morning that everybody's pretty well engaged. Highway operations have been focused on cleaning ditches and preparing site work for spring construction and road repair while preparing for the winter storms that seem to be cropping up. And have spent several days cleaning vandalism from our bridge on the Ellicott Trail on East Main Street. We were hit with some vandalization that has cost us several $1,000s in man-hours and equipment, and so they have been focused on regular maintenance in the highway. Water sewer operations continue to work on cleaning and maintaining pump stations, cleaning sewer lines, and finishing up working with the office people on metering, remetering, and other repairs associated with water and sewer operations. Building department reports that they have a full slate of applications, plan review, and inspections ongoing, as well as supporting the process served with the planning board's needs for them to be participatory in planning board actions. Engineers report that work is well underway on several water and sewer projects, highway Route 98 improvement projects, drainage projects. I think we have 137 projects in the pipeline, and we have 8 grant applications in either submittal or ready to submit stages. An assessor at the last meeting reported that they were going to be closing out and starting a reval this year to be consistent with their obligations, and will continue to update us on that as it comes in. For my report this evening, I'm proposing to read some correspondence that I received in February, and it was sent to me as a town supervisor, and I want this, I'll read it out loud and I'll put it as an attachment to the minutes, and I'll let the correspondence speak for itself. It is from an anonymous source, but is well written, and it is very focused to the point of an issue that has concerned our community, our responders, and our local foundation. So I'll start with this. Dear Mr. Greg Post, I hope this letter finds you well. I wanted to reach out and bring attention to an issue that concerns the town of Batavia through a variety of perspectives in hopes that you may assist in a resolution. Within the past year, a multitude of fire calls have been addressed to the College Village apartments of Genesee Community College. Seemingly every time, these calls have been in response to smoke detectors going off due to error in the use of apartment kitchens or other components. The absurd number of calls such as these invoke almost blatant disrespect for the town of Batavia Volunteer Fire Department. I would hope that a lesson would be learned within the first couple of calls, but sadly this has been ongoing for an extended period of time, with the count of calls likely reaching over 100 in the past year by now. I have no personal count on this, but I'm sure that the fire department and the college have a record. This issue impacts the residents of the town of Batavia itself. These calls waste the resources of the town of Batavia Fire Department, which is a volunteer organization and likely funded by these loyal residents. These resources would be better spent on situations of greater need. In order to respond to these calls, the transportation of volunteer firefighters must occur through emergency vehicle use. This not only impacts the flow of traffic, but also provides stress for residents who are empathetic to the demise of others. To see emergency vehicles constantly responding to the college, which is supposed to be a place of wisdom, growth, and hope for the future, instead fills local residents with fear and worry for the health of others. This issue also impacts the reputation of Genesee Community College. The frequent need for the presence of firefighters conveys the idea that the college is not a safe place for students. I, for one, would be uncomfortable attending an institution that is not structurally equipped to prevent such disaster and instead is constantly appearing to be potentially on fire. This will likely result in a decline of enrollment, detrimental to the education of local residents. A decline in enrollment would also have financial and economic implications. And further, this likely provides fear and stress for the students at the college, which will hinder their educational success and diminish their potential for future success. This success is vital to the further progress of the residents of Batavia and the proper maintenance of the town over time. This issue, of course, impacts the Town of Batavia Fire Department. As previously mentioned, the attendance of such calls is incredibly wasteful of their resources. Beyond the tangible equipment, these such calls greatly impact the volunteer firefighters themselves. I am certain that these calls have dampened their spirits and have gradually worn away at their motivation to respond to College Village. The danger of this situation can best be compared to the story of the boy who cried wolf. The firefighters are incessantly responding to calls that hold very little merit and likely lose their belief in there being a real issue, which could eventually result in there being minimal responses once there is actually a major issue at College Village. In short, the sheer number of calls they receive dwarfs the expected severity of any calls made from College Village, and while this may not be the case, as I am sure the volunteer firefighters are great people and dedicated to their role in helping others, I would hate for the issue to evolve that far. It is important to remember that they are volunteer firefighters, meaning that this is not their primary job, but instead pure altruism. These firefighters are already tired from their own primary careers each day and have no need to be further worn down by calls such as these. The need for incessant response to calls such as these will likely deter the newly joined volunteers from staying committed to the department and will dissuade new volunteers from joining. This will greatly diminish the number of volunteer firefighters available for true emergencies in the town of Batavia. I believe that Genesee Community College and the College Village Department should be held responsible for this issue. There are a variety of potential resolutions to this issue, even more than I am capable of thinking of, I am sure. For example, the college could offer cooking and kitchen use class-like events in order to ensure their students are capable of cooking on their own without detrimental effects. Simultaneously, they could institute some sort of penalty to the students if such meritless fire calls occur, motivating the students to be more respectful in their endeavors and more careful while cooking. It is possible that the students themselves are unaware of the negative impacts that they are responsible for. For many, college is the first time they are fully self-dependent, so this may positively impact their own growth as well as the town college and fire department. The college could alternatively move the kitchens responsible for this issue and instead offer dining accommodations, institute a dining hall or something similar for the residents. This would eliminate all possibility of there being unnecessary calls to the College Village apartments. I am certain that there are many alternative solutions that could be thought of by those directly involved with these issues, and I greatly encourage you to communicate on these concerns with the Town of Batavia Fire Department and Genesee Community College. I, along with many other residents of the Town of Batavia, would greatly appreciate your taking this issue seriously. I am confident that with the proper attention, this issue could be easily resolved, and the town, college, and fire department would all benefit tremendously. Thank you for your consideration, a concerned lifelong resident of the town of Batavia. I would like to thank this person for their courage and their aptitude and the eloquence in which they stated very clearly and succinctly an issue that has been unresolved for nearly 2 decades. And it has not gone without the attention of the Town of Batavia Town Board and the Building Inspection and Zoning and Code Enforcement staff in partnership with the Town of Batavia Volunteer Fire Department, who selflessly have answered hundreds of calls to the college campus over the past 18 years. It should be noted that the Genesee Community College Foundation and their staff have worked for the last 15 years with the Town of Batavia staff and with the fire operations people, seeking methods to resolve these ever-present conditions that result in those that work for free to provide fire protection for our community, paid for by the tax-paying citizens, to an entity that pays no money towards the fire department. They're exempt from taxes. That being said, this morning I received a report from our building inspection department. And that,
It's
It's a bat line.
time to take my pill.
This
the
is
bat
close.
Oh,
line.
that's what it is.
I wanted to state clearly that I received this report this morning from Dan Lang as an update to the ongoing efforts from GCC, the foundation, their staff, and the fire department, emergency management, the town board, and our building inspection and engineering departments. He states that the proposed response protocol will be single smoke head activation, trouble alarms, supervisory alarms will be sent to on-campus security so as to prevent nuisance calls from getting to the fire department unless tangible. They're in a process of overhauling and repairing and replacing heat detectors and pull stations and changing out the parameters for which emergency response is immediately needed. There have been several people hired recently to oversee and make efforts to reduce the call volume and to reduce the incidents. And they're in process in conjunction with the volunteer fire department's agents, the newly hired or recently hired staff at the community college and foundation. And they have a 12-point plan that appears to already be reducing call volume since its inception over the last couple of weeks. They are proposing a comprehensive master plan to address these issues. They're working with their unification and codification of all of their alarm systems. And they have recently had a meeting to address virtually everything that was in the letter stating the issues. And it couldn't have come at a better time, and it is coincidental. This came to me this morning at the staff meeting as I was preparing to read this letter that we received last month. They have installed Knox boxes on all the dorms so that the fire department doesn't have to wait for somebody to come in and unlock doors. They have begun fire prevention classes for all parties. They have begun to swap out and transition to a complete wet system on sprinklers. They're consolidating all the buildings that have proprietary systems and services to an alarm company. They have agreed that the town of Batavia will be the administration having jurisdiction to focus on and centralize the protocols and make sure that the inspections are up to speed and maintained. The town of Batavia Volunteer Fire Department has provided an additional fire inspector. That is a process. All things are working in a good direction. All in all, they are following through as if they had read this letter, gotten this letter, and received it. I have no idea if they did or not. It was addressed to me, and I believe after I've shared it with my board members recently that it answers the question these people have. We have been engaged for 15 years on solutions. The Foundation of College seems to be making a valiant effort with a number of expensive and needed protocol changes and staffing changes, and we are committed to finding a path to get our call volume to that campus reduced to increase the safety of the students, the staff, the firefighters, and the rest of the community. And it is Mr. Lang's opinion that this is a great step that I have not seen in all the years of completing the code enforcement at the complex, and all parties seem to be on board and focused with limiting the call volume, yet providing a safe service to the residents and the community located on the campus. I offer this as a department report coincidentally with what this letter stated. And I just wanted on the record, attached to the minutes, that we continue to engage with this and amending other campuses to reduce the nuisance calls, but more importantly, to bring attention of how valuable the fire department service that we get from the town of Batavia and the East Pembroke in our community is unparalleled. They are well-staffed, well-trained, well-equipped, and assisted through these processes by the town of Batavia and assisted in their efforts to become more fiscally sound and financially stable through strategic planning and updates to strategic and comprehensive plans. We will continue. We are committed as a board to support fire service and other emergency responders, and we take this as an example of how a committed relationship between elected officials in a community and their volunteer fire service and EMS responders can provide a very positive and affordable resolution to something that could become quite toxic to the community and to the fire service. And with that, I move to the next part of the agenda. Thank you all for your time. Clerk, do you have anything?
Yes, we collected $57,090, remitted $56,969 to the supervisor for the local share. For taxes, thus far we've collected $7,165,551.41. We have remitted $3,337,920.07 to the supervisor for the tax levy. And that's all I have.
Slow week, huh?
Yeah. Usually is.
Thank you for that. Any committee reports? Any old business?
What's it gonna be called, Chad?
Experience business and
Yes.
experience.
We changed the name.
So then what do you?
I'm okay with that.
Experience and inexperience? Come on.
I'm okay with that. I never intended to offend anybody. With a delegation of that, actually, it's kind of a caveat that I honor the wisdom that
We
comes
could
to
do the
those.
wise and unwise.
Oh, there
Not
you go.
unwise,
Yeah.
I mean.
Any new business, Chad?
No, sir.
All right, and someone move to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Underhill,
Yes.
Zambito,
Yep.
White,
Yes.
Michaelak,
Yes.
Post.
Yes.
Nice.